Good morning, sir. We are indeed happy to have you here with us today. To start with, we'd like to have your views on what do you feel about brand India and the importance that it holds in the global economy today.
Well, India is, in many ways, the future of the world economy. Not only is it a massive country, but it's an awakening country, as we know. I've been able to visit 4 times, and each time I'm impressed by the degree of transformation just in very short time periods between these visits.
So, according to you, what are the various advantages that the Indian economy holds as compared to its counterparts in the world today?
Well, in part, I don't think it is a question of we're better than them or worse than them, because we don't see trade that way. We see it as a more cooperative process. So India's success doesn't mean that somebody else has to fail. But what India has, of course, is a democratic government, a really democratic government, and that proves to be very important in later stages of development. So, for example, one of the leading risks to China's development is not having a democratic system, having a single party, and all the opportunities that means for favoritism and such. Now, obviously, India has problems like all other countries in terms of favoritism, but democracy provides a potential relief valve, a way of the people to respond to those problems. So that's one point. Another point, of course, is that the world still, as a global world, is very heavily oriented towards English. And India has an enormous number of English speakers and people that don't just simply speak English, but speak English, the King's English, and speak it at a fully international level. Third thing that it has is its position. So it really can be an east-west bridge, and with the rise of China, again, we don't see this as a India versus China. Very much see a Sino-Indian development over the next 40 years, in which India's geographic position is immensely useful. Then there's stability, and obviously the contrast to Pakistan is one of the leading examples. But India, again, as a democracy, as a more secular nation, albeit with strong religious views, has an enormous, for example, minority Muslim population without dramatic terror on that grounds. It obviously has other insurgencies, but they're more Maoist as opposed to along religious kinds of lines. So India has also shown the ability of Indians to work together, and Indians are enormously diverse and such. So that's going to be essential going forward in a globalized world. Just plain the ability to give respect to other people and to not be upset by differences as opposed to respectful of those things. So I think that all of those things are useful. India also simply has the advantage that any nation has when it begins the real surge in productivity. When that happens, frankly, there are many inefficiencies in India, and so you can get more rapid gains when you stop, in essence, putting lead in the saddle of the jockey type of thing. As soon as you take the lead out, the horse and the rider are able to go much faster. And there's far more of a commitment in India these days to do that. I think India also will benefit in the long run because it is not this pure sort of right-wing, just destroy the government type of mentality. Again, there are many strands in India, and for example, Kerala has been famous for a long time in having far better circumstances for the people, even though it's a very poor state historically. And so we think that Sen's and his legacy are an important advantage to India as well in having economics with a more humane face that will help India very much going forward.
Sir, my last question would be on the India presence at Davos. We have been, present heavily making our presence felt heavily for the past 5 years now, and this is the India. How has been your experience about India's presence at Davos each year?
Well, that I can't give you much help on because this is my first visit to Davos type of
But
thing.
how has been this experience then?
I'm part of a counter Davos on behalf of Greenpeace, where we were giving a public eye award to Goldman Sachs for not doing good things and such. But again, India potentially plays well in both of these worlds. It's obviously a leading force in what are viewed as the positives in globalization, but it too, again, has this Sen legacy and various religious views as well, in which taking care of the climate is important. And frankly, that is one of the biggest challenges in industrialization in India. Having gone, the use of coal so extensively, you arrive at the airport and it's like it's night at times during the day. So this is one of the greatest struggles that India is going to have, of how can we have industrialization without poisoning ourselves. And again, I'm hopeful that there are, because India has some non-crazy economists, that will give them a leg up in that ability.
We also hope so, sir. Thank you. Thanks a ton for your time.
Thank you.